Hi everybody, this is Diane. I'm working on the Mary Poppins journals. I have various things going on today which will split my day up, so I thought I would just do several shorter videos, maybe 3, and then connect them together. So in this part I want to talk about using fabric in my journal. Of course I use it on the spine, and in this case I've used it on ruffles on the front page of each signature. And I put it on, little scraps of it on some of my tags and cards. And I put a pocket in here somewhere. There it is. Took a piece of fabric and folded the top edge under and just sewed a piece of lace to it and glued it down as a pocket. And now I'm going to do some more fabric pockets. At least prep the fabric for it. But right now I'm going to do some fabric tabs. So I did some prep work for that. I took a strip of this yellow gingham, no, it's yellow polka dot fabric, and then I added this blue strip to it, which was narrower. And I tacked on a little piece of red gingham because I wanted to use the full length of this to make tabs. And then I did a third narrower strip down the center. And then I thought, well, I'll make a few more of these and I'll make them a little longer. This just happened to be a strip I had on hand, but I tore these off a piece of fabric and made them longer so I could get more tabs and whatever else I want to make out of them. So this one had, I did this one wider because I wanted more of this base fabric to show. And the green was in 2 smaller pieces, so I just patched it in the middle with a blue floral, light blue floral, and then put this one on top. And this one, I'm sorry if you can hear tools outside. They're working next door. I've got 2 polka dot fabrics here pieced together for the base and a green floral, and then I put this thin strip on top of a yellow print with daisies on it. And then I had to patch that little end just so I could make sure I use every bit of this base strip. So what I'm going to do is decide on how tall I want the tags to be, how deep the tabs, I mean, and then just cut it and they're ready to be glued to a page. Oh, something just scared me. Oh, something fell off the wall. I have little hooks hanging on the wall with the strips that stick, you know, contact? No, is that what they're called? I can never remember. Anyway, they don't last forever, and I come in here and I find things on the floor. So anyway, that one fell and scared me. So I can either sew it or glue it to a page. So first of all, let's decide what page it's going to go on. I think I need something happening in the back section of the signature. Maybe I'll put it on this book page. And I think that is a good color combination for it. So I'm just going to cut that off. I don't want to cover her with it, so make sure you're checking both sides of your page. And I think I'll just glue it. how it looks in the cover. See how much it sticks out. I guess that's good. It's probably a little bigger than it needs to be. I'm gonna cut a little bit off and make it just a little bit smaller. Yeah, that looks better. You can still see it. Okay, let's pick out some for the other pages. I haven't done much to this signature yet. This page isn't even connected to its front page. Let's see, I used the shorter one, so I can use one of these. Don't want to cover up the horse's face. Might as well cut another one while I'm at it. I can measure it. That's not a tool, that's just a really loud vehicle. It's a bigger one again. I made it big. Just bring it in a little. So you don't need much of a cut off of that strip to make a nice tab. I have one near the bottom and one kind of in between where I would normally put it at the top or in the middle. It's kind of in between there. So I guess it doesn't really matter much where I put this one. I'll put this one at the top because there's room there. It's a nice big wide one. So it's got lots of room and that's good. So they're not lined up the way I would normally do it because these are overlapping more than I like, but well, I could move it down. And then I'll have to add something to this edge so that the glue will dry, but it'll be shiny. And I don't want that to show, so I'll just glue a strip of something there. It's not quite wide enough to cover it. Just adds an extra embellishment. Goes this way. Well, it's on the pig's face, but that's okay. Perhaps I should have put these on a plain page. So now they are all staggered. I like that better. Now I'll have to do that for the other 4 journals, but I think I have enough. I'm sure I have enough here to do all 4 journals. So now let's think about pockets. Where did I put the pocket on this journal? It's on a book page. And I might not want to cover up. I guess I don't have a book page like that in here. So I think I'll put it on this. I would like to use one of these illustrations from this fabric. I don't know if I want it on this white page, but I'm going to get one prepped. I like the buildings and the tree. I don't know if I want to use the tree or the shrubbery here. Depends on if I can use either of them. So I'm going to cut around that so I don't cut that chair. Let's see what we have. Well, I don't think I'll use either the tree or the shrubbery. I guess it's just a smaller tree. It has to be so tall because of the chimney. This house is taller and it has a chimney. And I'll get a little bit of this tree in so that can represent the cherry trees on Cherry Tree Lane. I think I angled in when I cut. And if I want to fold the top down, I'd have to fold the chimney down. And I think that looks okay. I had to buy red rickrack because I ran out. I use red rickrack a lot. And I haven't been finding a lot of vintage trims and rickracks for the last couple of years. That will work. And I need one more pocket for this journal. Then I'll go sew the fold down and the trim on, and I'll come back. But first, let's pick out a page for the next one. It'll have to be another plain one, so it'll be this. I like this one. It's cute with all the birds and flowers. But I don't know. This is the spine of this journal. So I'll make a pocket out of this. All right, now it's a nice, pretty pink floral that I don't have to try to not cover a certain design aspect of it, so I can have some fun with some lace. Let's do this one, because Mary is wearing her fancy outfit on the cover of this journal. I hope it's not, I hope I'm not mixing up styles too much, because Mary Poppins is whimsical, and I've used a lot of whimsical things in it, but this is beautiful and elegant, so I hope it looks okay together. We're going to go with it anyway. So I'm going to sew the fabrics, and then I'll come back and glue the pockets down. I debated on gluing the lace instead of sewing it because I have black thread in, but I thought that the black thread would help connect this pretty feminine shabby chic look to the rest of the journal. Does that make sense? It does in my head. Pretty. I should probably fill this glue bottle before I begin another video. So that's a lot of ways to use fabric in a journal. And there are always fabric flips too. I don't know if I will do fabric flips. Let me see if there would be a good place for one. I mean, I could put it over a lined page because you're going to flip it up and you'd have space to write. So I could. I've got a few pages I could decide to put a fabric flip if I want to do them. All right, I'm going to stop this video and then hopefully I'll come back to do a little bit more and tack it on. I'll see you later. Well, I wasn't able to come back the same day, yesterday, that I did the video and said I was going to put some pieces together. But I have been working today on kind of catching up on all the journals. So they all have their fabric ruffles and they all have their fabric pocket and their fabric tabs. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think I have all of the golden book pages hinged together. There's only one folio. Oh, this isn't a golden book page. There's only one folio of golden book pages in each signature, and I'm not quite sure, but I think I have all of them hinged together to be a page. So what I want to do right now is to make some little embellishments like these and like these. So I have these popped out of their signature so I can look at them easily and recreate. And I need to make 3 more of each of those embellishments for the other pages, the other journals, I mean. So if you remember, I die cut a bunch of shapes with the Tim Holtz wallpapers at the same time that I did the tags. So I have these shapes, and that's what I used to create this, but I also used this punch to punch a larger background scallop. So I just want to flip these over so I can see all of the patterns that I have available. We'll get some of these other things out of the way that don't belong here. Oh, that heart might. Bear with me. Okay. All right, now I'm going to select a couple of shapes and then I'll decide what color I want the larger scallop circle. I think I'll just put those two together. And I have some scraps here that I can punch a scallop from. Maybe this. Oh, how about this? It's got more pink in it. And of course, these embellishments that I'm making are for the Mary Poppins journals. I'll staple it with a little copper staple and I'll have that one ready to go. Let's do another one. I'll put it off to the side so I can see the flower. And for this, I'll just add a little heart. Let's see how this looks with a scallop behind it. Maybe I want that circle to be a little bit smaller. I don't think I want it to be a little bit smaller, but I think maybe I would like this to be a little narrower. This is a die cut, so that's the size that it came, but I'm going to trim it a little narrower. Yeah, that looks better. So that was quick. I have 3 embellishments like this one. And the next one we do will be like this one. So again, I need a circle. Let me see if I have 3 circles. I do, of the big ones. I have 4, so I can be slightly selective in, oh, there's another, in the color that I choose. I'm not going to look into the books to see what color, what page color, I'm sorry, what color the page is going to be. So I'm just going to make some. So I'll just put this ticket behind here. Actually, I like them. I like it with the word ticket on it for this because it shows up better. So I'll put that behind. And then I'll use one of these little felt flowers. I ordered these flowers from Amazon. I've used them in other projects, so that'll just get glued on. I'll glue them all at the same time so I don't have to shake the glue down to the bottom every time. Let's do a blue one. Okay, now I'll just glue. I'm not trying to center anything. They're just a little bit off kilter, like many things in the Mary Poppins stories. Okay, so these will be glued onto those stripping pages. And I need to do one more set. Goodness gracious. And that one looks like this. I used 2 tickets and one of the embroidered flowers that I got from Amazon. Pretty easy and quick. If you need tickets for something like this, I do have these in my shop in these colors, and there's a blue. I don't know if it's this blue. I can't remember. I think it is. So anyway, there's a set of those in my shop. And I was down to, I think, 4 sets of them in my shop, but I had more on the rolls, so I put together a whole bunch, so I updated my stock of those tickets. Oh, I lost my paper towel I was using. One more. Okay, so I can go through and add these to the pages after I'm done with the video. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I also have, let me put this back in its signature. So I think I've done more in this journal than the others. Not sure, but I think I've done more in this one. So I was wondering about using some of this measuring tape. It's not yellow like hers, but I thought it would be a fun addition to something in here. Like just on the edge of a page or something. Whitman book needs to be just a little bit taller, not much. I told you I had to order online a bulb for my art lamp that's right next to me, and it came and I just put it in and it is the right thing. I got the right thing and it works. So that's just going to be in one signature of each journal. And I have another trim I'd like to put in another signature. That one's got stamping. I think it would look nice in this. So I have this trim, and it reminds me of her carpet bag. And I think there's enough for all of the journals. Yes, with some left over. Looks nice on that blue stripe. Now let me show you some things that I pulled, some more things that I pulled to use in these journals. I think you've already seen all of that stuff. Oh. So I have this little book of tickets that my daughter brought home from one of her trips to Disney. Where'd they all go? I pulled four of them out. Here they are. So back in the day, apparently, Disney had, you could buy a book of tickets, and they had letters on them, and there's also an E, so it was A, B, C, D, E. And apparently, from what I just read online, the E tickets everybody wanted because they were the highly sought after rides, and you didn't get as many of the e-tickets in your book. Apparently, that's what I just read. But anyway, I thought, and there's lines on the back of these for journaling, so they can go in these journals. And I pulled some fun playing cards. I love these for Mary Poppins. And I can use them for little tuck spots or something. Mary Poppins is a nanny, and I happen to have this little Notes for Our Babysitter book, and I think I've only used one. I was trying to see if there's a date on this. It's got phone numbers with no area code. Yeah, I don't see a date, but there were only a few sheets in it, and I had 3 left, so I already tucked one into one of the journals, and I have 2 more. But then I found a bigger page that the other journal can have. I've got all this stuff. I think it's one of these big pages. Babysitter instructions. So what I'm going to do is, I already tucked a few of the ephemera pieces into, that was my dryer if you could hear it. I already tucked some of the ephemera into some of the pockets and things. I'm going to take it all out so that I can divide things up. So I'll have a pile of ephemera for each journal, so I don't forget what I put into each one. And I already showed you the flashcards I pulled, but I wanted to pull, I just put them back, just some extra things for writing. So just some memo sheets and lined pages that are vintage. And these little, I don't know how old these are, but these are little name cards, place cards for a table, but they have the music and the little pink roses. So I think I'll just, I don't know if I'll fold them or not, because they do have a score line to fold them and put them on a table with a name. But I thought they would be really cute to put in somewhere. Just some little notes and some vintage pages and some little music pages. I have these craft cards, index cards, that have hand sketched and written instructions for little crafts for kids to do. Maybe kids, I don't know. Maybe it's for grown-ups to do. These little things to buy sheets and some long list papers. I have a couple of these. I liked it with the birds because of Mary singing with the bird, the robin. Looks like I only have 3 of those. Some While You Were Out, some paint chips, library pockets, and colored index cards, little journaling things. So I have plenty of things to stick into the pockets. Oh, and where I was doing stamping, I need to make sure I have space for using the stickers. So I stamped on white pages, but there are other white pages, even the lined ones, or this green solid color. I can add stickers to those. So I think that's all I wanted to share with you. Before you go, let me show you what I got in a Happy Mail the other day, some little golden books. Julie had previously sent me this golden book, which I am just now using. She didn't send it too long ago because she knew I was going to be making Mary Poppins. So she sent that to me, but then she asked me what kind of golden books I might be looking for, and I said anything with Eloise Wilkin and Corinne Malvern. So she found some Eloise Wilkin, including Eloise Wilkin's Mother Goose. I love this. Hansel and Gretel. And My Puppy. I don't think I've ever had this one. The little boy with his puppy. You've probably seen it before. And so I love those. But then this one, it's not Eloise Wilkin, but it's definitely vintage, and it's Swedish. So everything here is in Swedish. It's definitely a little golden book, but look how old it is. I wonder if I found a date on it. And look at the inside. I think this means golden book. It does say copyright, but it doesn't have a year. Interesting. And it doesn't have what it has in the US for these older books, where it has the letter over here. It doesn't have it here. The back cover is starting to come off, so I wouldn't feel bad about cutting it up. So what do you think about that? Have you ever seen a golden book in a foreign language? Interesting, huh? So I just wanted to show you this wonderful supply of golden books that Julie sent me. Thank you so much, Julie. And I'll be back again with more Mary Poppins. Have a creative day. Bye.